Hello friends, my name is Coco and you don't know me and I don't know you, but I am very happy you're alive today. Today is Saturday. I hope you guys had a good day today. My day has been very relaxing, so I'm very grateful for that, especially after a busy week. One thing I kind of wanted to talk about today was just to kind of give you guys some hope, I guess, is kind of the point of what I'm trying to say for today's video. I know the state of what goes on in our nation and what goes on in our world can be very depressing at times, and I know it can give us a sense of hopelessness at times, especially with most recent events like the Orlando shooting that took place, which was very, very tragic, and my heart goes out to the families for the victims that had lost their lives and for the victims and families who are still fighting for their own lives, either in the hospital in recovery or just recovering at home. It was a very senseless act of violence that was brought on by hate and anger and fear, and it was just completely unnecessary. And I know when we see things like that, especially as more and more shootings are popping up and, a lot of tragic events that keep occurring, within our own country or within other countries, and I know kind of the sentiment around is kind of like, well, the world's going to hell and, the world's just crazy and, who cares about it and I give up and all this other stuff. And I want you guys to still be hopeful. And I know it's hard to be hopeful. And I mean, even me, myself, when I watch the news, I feel a little depressed, like, man, there's just so much bad in the world. But the one thing that we have to remember is for every bad is every good, and there is so much good in the world. There's so many amazing, wonderful people and amazing and wonderful, beautiful things in this world. It's just hard to see sometimes because sometimes we tend to focus on the bad, and sometimes there is quite a bit of bad, but just like with our depression, sometimes when we're surrounded by it, we don't really see anything else, and, we're surrounded by the darkness, we don't see that there's light. And sometimes when the state of the world is just really, really bad, all we see is the really bad. We don't see the good, where there are people who are fighting for rights and liberty and equality and, fighting to keep us safe. And so I want you guys to just know that you can have hope, that there are people fighting, myself included. There are people fighting for, other people and for the world to be a better place. And sometimes we can also be part of that change by going out in the world and offering love and kindness, because ultimately what fights inhumanity and hate is humanity and love. So we can go out there and be the change that we want to be in the world. And, hopefully with enough of us, we can change the world. So, don't give up and don't feel hopeless. It's normal if you do, but just know that there are people fighting to change the world, and change is coming, and sometimes not right away, but change always happens, okay? So I just felt that was kind of important to talk about. I know there was lots of days where I watch the news and sometimes I cry about what's going on in the news, and I know that sounds kind of silly, but it's kind of sad. You think, how can other people do that to other people, and how can this happen, and why would that happen to children or things like that? And ultimately, the answer is that there are just bad people in this world. But again, for every bad person is a good person fighting to try to save other people. So we just have to remember that, okay? Alright, guys. Well, I think that's it. I just want to tell you guys that I love you all. Do the best you can. That's all that anybody asks for. And remember, I am very happy you're alive today, okay? As I say, I'm very proud of I am very happy you're alive today, and I am very proud of you for hanging through all the bad that you see, through all the troubles that you deal with, and through all the hardships that you go through. I'm very proud of you for persevering and continuing on amongst all the ugliness, amongst all the bad, amongst, all the darkness. But just know that there will be light, that the gray clouds will clear, and that the world will get better, okay? Alright, guys. I love you guys. Have fun for the rest of your day. Don't let the world drag you down. Just know that it will get better, okay? Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.